morning. I'm Susie Stewardson with the Summit team at UFirst Realty, and we're going to be talking about VA loans today. And I have an expert on the subject here with us today, Kris Hocum, First City Mortgage. He also has done a lot of VA loans and can tell you all about them.
Yeah, VA loans are some of my favorite loans to do, and first for those veterans, thank you for your service. We really do appreciate it. And
definitely.
VA loan is such a great benefit that has been given. One of the questions I get asked is, well, do I qualify? And if you know you qualify already, start with me as the lender. If you don't, because people can qualify if they've been active duty, reserves, if they're potentially a surviving spouse of a veteran.
I see.
And so sometimes if you don't know that, you can find out from your local VA benefit center if you have VA eligibility. But the big benefits to a VA loan is there's no down payment requirement.
Yes, that's amazing.
You can do a VA loan with 100% financed.
Wow.
You would have normal closing costs out of pocket, which is about $5,000 to $6,000 depending on the house and the area. That could potentially be covered by yourself. We could bump the interest rate to cover those closing costs, or even sometimes we can get the seller to cover some or all of those.
A lot of times I'm able to get it from the seller. So yeah, that's great.
And it's some of my favorite when we're at closing and you're getting your earnest money check back.
Exactly.
And you bought a house for no money out of pocket.
Yep.
100% financing. There's no mortgage insurance, so no PMI on any VA loan. Loan amounts, VA actually doesn't have a loan amount limit.
Right.
But most banks do cap the 100% financing at about $1 million.
$1 million.
So that's a lot of houses out there.
There's a lot of houses out there that you can buy with a VA loan. VA does charge a funding fee depending on if it's your first use or second use, and those numbers do change year to year. Currently, the first use, they charge a 2.3% fee, and the second use, they charge a 3.6% fee. But that fee is waived if you have a VA-connected disability of 10% or more. A lot of the veterans I get to help, that's the case, and that fee is waived. But even if you do have that fee, the no PMI and the no money down makes VA just such an incredible loan. One of the cool benefits, especially if you're in a higher interest rate environment when you're purchasing a VA loan, is they have what's called we call it an Earl.
What's an Earl?
It's an interest rate reduction loan. And basically VA says if you've been in the house 210 days, and interest rates have dropped enough that you're saving the cost of the refinance in 36 months, you can refinance with no appraisal, no debt to income checks. We don't have to make sure you still qualify for the payment. We do still look at your credit score.
Okay.
But it makes that refinance super simple to help save money down the road and take advantage of those lower interest rates.
That's a great benefit.
One of the things that people ask all the time is, well, I've already used my VA loan.
Right.
Well, you can use it more than one. Typically, you only want to have one VA loan at a time. And if you sell and buy, even if that's the same day, you can go from VA to VA. Your entitlement is restored right away. But VA even does have a provision where you can have two VA loans at the same time. We see that a lot, like if you're transferring from another state to for employment, you might not have to sell your current house to be able to purchase with a VA loan on the new house. Typically, there's some down payment requirements if you have two VA loans at the same time. There's a calculation that VA has us do, so it really is dependent on your current house. But you could even have two VA loans.
That's great. One quick thing that came up while you were talking, what's the condition of the home when they purchase? Because I don't think we touched on that.
VA does have a little bit more stringent appraisal qualifications. They want to make sure this home is safe.
Right.
So they won't allow for safety issues. So you have to have handrails, and you can't have peeling paint, and the house has to be in livable condition.
But it doesn't have to be perfect.
It does not have to be perfect. Might need some love, but but it just can't have any of those safety type issues to qualify.
Okay, great. All right, thank you, Kris. Thanks for coming in.